Hey guys, Dave here from Wolf in the Wild Survival. Little story for you. So about a year and a half ago, I went and bought myself a SUV from a used car dealership called Cedar Auto in London, Ontario. It was a nice Buick. It had like 111,000 kilometers on it. Leather seats, really nice. I thought it was a good buy. Here we are, like 40,000 kilometers and a year and a half later, and the engine pretty much blew. It's been nothing but trouble pretty much since I got it. So now for the next 3.5 years, I'm making payments on a vehicle that I can't use for anything other than possibly storage. One of the things that I had stored in there was my vehicle bag, roadside safety kit / get home bag. Can't show off my Buick, but I can show off my get home bag. So let's go wander around a little bit, find a place to sit down, chill out, enjoy some coffee, and I'll show you what I got in the bag. Looks about as good a place as any. Nice little place to sit or lean. So, first of all, the bag. I got this bag from Forest City Surplus here in London, Ontario. It was $65-ish. Oh, what's the name of the company now? I can't remember. I honestly can't remember. But it's a piece of junk. Everything's just falling apart on it. The shoulder straps are falling apart. The bottom is that I had sleeping tied to the bottom here. So yeah, not good. Not good. And if I mil-spec. Okay, so this is like a 35-liter camp bag from mil-spec. Garbage, don't get them. All right. So, I have a water bottle that is stainless steel. I can boil water in it just fine. It's single wall. And it is from the University of Western Ontario, here in London. So, nothing fancy, nothing. I know the color's a little messed up, but hey, I'm colorblind. Without these glasses, I can't see most colors other than blue and yellow. I can't see nothing. So when I got it, I didn't know. Speaking of odd colors to find on a camp pack, I also have a paracord bracelet on the back. Breast cancer. They were raising money for breast cancer, and they were selling these, and I bought like a whole bunch of them. I gave a lot of them away. I still have one or two. That one stays on my vehicle bag. Ontario. I went to KW Surplus in Kitchener, Ontario. Lots of really good deals there. As a matter of fact, that's where I get the action cam that I'm filming off of right now. My good camera's at home. I didn't charge it, again. But 50 feet of polypropylene 1,200-pound test rope. I got a couple of these. It's good rope. It really is. One spool of it I featured in my video Shelter Building Fail, where I was using it to build sort of like a hammock before I laid down in it and the shelter collapsed on me because I used dead wood. So. Okay. Right on the very top. My jumper cables. With a, it's not very big, but it's a like a wool ground sheet, kind of whatever, which, you know, you make a raised bed or, you know, whatever. That'll just the right size to lay down. Also, my laptop came in this bag. I have some Nature Mix, nuts and raisins, basically. Some Trail Mix, nuts and raisins with some chocolate. And one MRE. Beef stew. These ones here aren't too bad. They're not as good as ones that Forest City had, but don't seem to sell anymore. They came in clear packages. I can't remember the name of the company, but they had more food in it, slightly better quality, but still, you know, not bad. Not bad at all. So that's a little bit of emergency rationing. Okay. Sugar, creamer, salt and pepper. Why that's there, I'm not too sure. Oh, and a moist towelette. I probably just jammed it in there. It really belongs with the food. Okay, so in this pouch this is a flashlight, which honestly isn't very good, but it's really bright out. You're not really going to be able to see it, but there's a glow stick. So it's got like a solid mode and then a flashing mode, and a whistle. Mastercraft, still charged. Mastercraft flashlight, rechargeable. I really like these things. They're not bad. And 2 SOS banners. They unfurl out, you know, a fair bit, so I can put one in the front window and in the back window of my non-existent vehicle. The only problem with these things, the trigger on here, they're so sensitive. They're so sensitive. All right. Mirror. Now. Oh, okay. A lot of people have mirrors like this. And it's always a signal mirror. Which, yeah, sure, signal mirror. You know what else it's good for? When you're in the woods? Checking your body down to make sure that you don't have any ticks on you. If you crawl into your shelter, your tent, your, you know, whatever, your hammock even. I mean, before you crawl into anything, you generally want to get your clothes off and check yourself down for ticks, and a mirror will help you with that. So, you know, a lot of people, you know, like, I'm not going to put a mirror in my kit. Are you crazy? Like, I'm going to signal somebody with a mirror? Well, it's not just for signaling, okay? You really, they're handy for looking for ticks. And if you got a tick on you, you want it off as quickly as you possibly can. All right, you don't want those things on you too long. Okay. Now this is something that I might get a little bit of flack for, but hey, you know what? I don't care. I've actually had this situation before where your car slides off the road, goes down an embankment. The embankment, in my case, it was icy. It was slippery. You couldn't get back up. It was a pain to get back up. Now I have a pair of gloves in here that go along with these, but what these are climbing claws. They'll help climb trees. They'll help climb icy embankments. They'll help, climb up like a rock cliff or whatever. These things really will help. And I use like a good leather padded glove, not really padded, but like a decent glove so that it doesn't dig into my hand, because I'm kind of wimpy that way, I guess. In a self-defense scenario, you could grapple with these things and pull somebody to the ground right quick. You dig these into the back of their shoulder, or like they're not going to resist you putting them on the ground. So, but like I say, they're sharp. So I've got them in these little containers. Just to, I mean, the bag's crappy enough as it is. I don't need, anything cutting through, destroying the thing any faster than it's already fallen apart. And actually, the shoulder strap started ripping apart as I was walking out here, so this thing's going to be replaced very soon anyway. So, oh, here we are. The gloves. So, these are like weightlifting, martial arts, boxing, kind of whatever. Because of that right there. And they're going to help when you're climbing. They're going to help. Because they're going to help not sprain a wrist. Okay, so a lot of people say, hey, when you're hiking around, get yourself high-cut shoes or good boots, something that's going to give you ankle support. When you're climbing or doing a lot of, get yourself something with some wrist support. Okay, you don't want to sprain your wrists in a survival situation. You don't want to sustain any injury at all, really. But I mean, your hands really are your most useful tool that you're going to have. And if you can't use one because of severe pain, it's not going to be good. So that's why I have these. So the climbing claws fit over them nice and snug. Then the wrist part goes around nice and snug, and everything just fits nicely with these things. It's just ever so snug, ever so nice. I also have a spare knife. I don't always travel with my Selkirk, so, and I don't have a spare Selkirk yet. So I have a cheap little, Winchester fixed blade knife. Honestly, it's not the best knife. It really isn't. It's got a hot spot where, when you use it, you get like a blister. The blade doesn't take an edge extremely well, which is why my primary knife is a GI Tanto from Cold Steel. This thing is a beast. It takes an edge. It is sharp. You see that? This thing is great. Full tang, strong, sharp. Edge retention seems to be pretty good. The case is like a molded, I don't know if it's molded plastic. I'm not sure exactly which type. But the knife just snaps in. It's nice and tight. There's also the button snap. Now this can be modified for scout carry. I don't do that on this bag, even though I do prefer scout carry. On the bag I don't. So there's the other glove. So all in all, the I try to keep I try to keep my eating cutlery separate. So basically, for the most part, this was more of an eating tool. Now it's more of a backup knife. So, other side. Okay, I have an old can. So this is one of those magnesium blocks with the ferro rod on the side. Fire starter. As well as Bic lighter. Spare light bulb for headlight, I think it was, for my Buick. Don't really need that no more. There's only one in it because I actually used one, so it was good that I had it. Okay, I got 3 sewing kits. Cordage bracelet. It's not paracord, but still. I think they call that a cinch strap. This is long too. This is like at least 10 feet, maybe 15. Like you could use this as a ridgeline. Another breast cancer thing, bracelet, paracord, and another not paracord bracelet. Dog doo-doo bags. Just a whole roll of little bags. You never know what you're going to use the bag for. There's a whole roll of them here. And black electrical tape. I guess you would call this a possibles pouch in a tin. So, okay, pretty much the outside, except for this crazy beast right here. Well, still a little. I did a video on this not too long ago. I don't think you're going to get a better chopper that isn't an axe than a parang. I really, really like the Kukri, but this thing is crazy. Absolutely crazy. I like that knife. So, better than a hatchet, almost as good as an axe. Small, lightweight. I really like it. I think it's awesome. All right. Into the pair of full-fingered work gloves. Always good to have gloves. Now, the other gloves don't have fingers in them. These could be used with the climbing kit, but it doesn't have that wrist support. So, you know, but work gloves, oh yeah. Cordage. A mess of... I mean, everybody knows paracord, everybody knows bungee cords. Rope. Mason twine. 200 feet of mason twine. And for its size, this stuff is remarkably strong. So, you know, I mean, it's got... I probably won't, but I might try to condense it down to save space. Because you never know. I might need space if I go to a different... Well, I'm going to a different pack. If I go to a pack that's smaller, I might. Mylar blankets from the dollar store, $1.25. I haven't tested them, but I will. Future video. If you're in a vehicle for the night and it's kind of cold, you're not lighting a fire. If you can't run your vehicle, it's going to get cold. Smaller vehicles would be better than bigger ones for something like this here, but this is a survival candle. It's got 3 wicks on it, and it will generate heat. Okay, so even if you're in a big vehicle, you take one of those Mylar blankets and you wrap it around, you put the candle sort of down, you know, in front of you or whatnot. If using one wick, burn for 3 hours, then change to another to burn evenly. Candle will burn for 16 hours when only one wick is used. Now, if you're trying to keep warm, light all 3. But 16 hours of light, not bad. Okay, so Sol emergency bivvy, little sleeping bag. It'll be good for a night or two, you know. I'm sure. I'll test that out too. Check it out. Sol emergency blanket. Now I know these things are good. These things are they're quite large. They're quite robust, and they're very useful. Like $20 a Canadian Tire, something. It's worth the money. It's worth the money. Okay, if I'm going to have a miserable night, I'm going to try to lessen my misery as much as possible. That's going to help. Ho ho ho! Wow. Okay. So. I don't even know if that's going to work anymore. I got a roadside candle flare, and leaving it in a vehicle like that has made it melt. So, "45-minute emergency wax flare, windproof, rainproof, snowproof. Light wick with a match and place flare 10 feet from rear of vehicle for outdoor emergency signaling only." I'm assuming it's going to work, but who knows? Who knows? I really didn't think a flare would melt like that. So, sort of a little more cordage, Velcro straps, and I don't know what this is. I really don't. But it is super strong. This is stronger than mason twine. For its size, this is unbelievably strong. It could be used as fish line, and I guarantee you'll pull pike, muskie, everything out of the lake, river, whatever. It is really strong. I don't know what it is. I don't know where I got it, but I'm keeping it in there. That's definite. Should have brought a table. Okay. I'm gonna try to get a slightly different angle, and yeah. All right, back at it. I'm gonna move this rope out of the way too. Handle for the shovel, which is in there. I swear. Honest. First aid kit. 86 pieces. This is a little bit more than your average boo-boo kit. I am fully trained in first aid, CPR, use of a defibrillator, all that kind of stuff. This thing is reflective of that. Band-aids, you know, that's your boo-boo kit right there. That's your band-aids and your benzocaine wipes, alcohol swabs, all that kind of jazz. For severe bleeding, Quick Clot only recently came available in around, you know, my area. And it's just a Quick Clot sponge. So for years, I've carried around silver nitrate. That'll stop bleeding, but it's gonna hurt like hell. But hey, if it saves your life, it saves your life. I also have some hypodermic needles. Now, I'm not necessarily, you know, just gonna run up and give somebody a shot, but you never know when these things could be useful. One thing that I would use them for definitely is I would take the needle off, so I have just that. And if I'm in an area where water is not readily available, but I'm coming across little mud puddles, I will use that to get up the water, put it into my container, and then filter and boil it when I have enough to actually do so. But obviously they still stay in the medical kit. Polysporin ointment. No matter what, I don't care if you have a little boo-boo kit or a full comprehensive, always have this stuff. Antibiotic ointment, you know, anything to help stave off infection, whatever. Definitely have that. I love the stuff. I think it's great. You don't want an infection in a survival situation. Cheers. Okay. Whoop. A tiny little shovel. That handle is not for this shovel. That handle is for a small snow shovel. So, it's got a little button compass on it. That's telling me north is that way. So, let me just get my bearings here. I walked into the bush. So, yeah, it seems to be, yeah, it's fairly accurate. North is, I didn't bring my good compass, but north is approximately that way. Now, I wouldn't rely on this. I honestly wouldn't. Even if you're off by 10 degrees, that could be, you're lost, you're dead. But I have a general idea. If I'm on a roadside, I have a general idea which way is north, and I could walk down the road, to wherever, if I know a generalized idea, maps and so on and so forth. So, could be useful. Oh yeah, the shovel also has like a pick or an awl, kind of whatever. So, I mean, you could possibly use that to like dig through the ice to do some fishing if you had to. Okay. A reflective road cone, triangle, kind of whatever. Let people know you're in trouble. Oh, yeah. I've had this for quite a long time. A lot of my gear from camping trips past go into this when I replace it with something better or newer. And that made it into here. That is a Woods folding saw, and it's a good saw. It really is. I just like the Silky Gomboy better. That. And then, oh, wrong side, I think. Yep. That. Then that. I have dug myself out with that. Takes a little while, but you can get it done. Alright. Pouch O stuff. Bandana. That should be red, but I bought up a whole bunch of the red ones, and they didn't have quite as many as I needed at the time. So I just grabbed, a couple of those just for my own personal thing, But, it's a bandana. It's still useful. Just a bag. You never know, right? I'm not necessarily lugging this around. I'm it's in a vehicle, so weight isn't necessarily a big issue. In a sealed bag, 2 tea light candles and a box of wooden matches. They're kind of like matches, but they don't strike anywhere. So there you go. Waterproof because they're in a bag. I got another Mylar blanket. I should have a couple of them, but come here. A safety vest, not a rain poncho, just a reflective safety vest to let people know where you are. But the rain poncho's right there. So between the two, you're going to be visible. Like, look at that. Okay. Being colorblind, I can't see that without my glasses on, but I can see that. That stands out. With my glasses on, that's like, wow, amazing. But you're... Now, if that's not quite enough, that will be. You're going to be seen in this. I guarantee it. Okay. I also have some chopsticks, a spare lighter, and a little Swiss Army folding knife with a bunch of other little tools in it, and a couple extra clips. I don't know where the other part went, but they were on there. I must have actually used them when I was repairing something, which probably makes these useless, but maybe, I don't know. Here I am. There we are. Geez, the batteries must be dead on this thing by now. Yes, they are. Okay, so this is a Lightman. This thing is bright, but it just flashes, and it's got a magnet on the back. So you stick that on the back of your car when you're broke down, you'll see that for miles away. That is so bright, and it's really heavy too. You know, like, it's amazingly robust. That's not going to break. So, I know there's one last thing in here. There it is. For those of you who watch my videos, you know that I used to have a dog. Well, that's his water bowl. That could still be useful to gather water, gather food, wild edibles, whatever. So, now the final thing that I have in this bag I'm actually not going to take it out because it was a real pain to get in, but okay, give me a second. Okay, so like I say, this bag does kind of suck, and it was a real pain to get this stuff in here. Okay, but I have some very large freezer bags, a very large Mylar blanket, not one of the cheaper ones. This thing is actually like big. I have a plastic drop sheet and a absolutely huge tarp, one of the blue tarps, and it's like 18 by 20 feet or something like that. It's ridiculously huge, you know, for like a get home bag or whatever. But you know, it was on sale, and you know, I could cut it in half and possibly do a lot more with it than just one if I had to. But like I say, it was real pain getting that in there. I really don't want to rip it out until I'm ready to replace this bag. This thing's going to the garbage very soon, I'll tell you that. But yeah, so that is my vehicle get home bag. So there you have it, my vehicle roadside safety kit get home bag, you know, kind of whatever. That's you know, when you break it apart and spread it across a tree like that, that's a lot of junk to be carrying around. Holy jumpins'. Thanks for watching. Like and share, all that good stuff. You know the drill. And if you're putting together your own roadside safety kit, get home bag, kind of whatever, I hope my video helped out. And let me point out something that a lot of people do forget, are jumper cables. Make sure you have a decent pair of jumper cables in your bag. They do come in handy. So, have a good one, and we'll see you in the next one. I gotta put all this stuff away now.